Shares of Marvell rising this morning after beating expectations. Guidance for the next quarter is mixed. Some analysts, though, remaining bullish on the company's growth in 5G. And joining us now, Marvell Technology CEO Matt Murphy. Matt, good morning.
Good morning, John.
So I'm focused on this difference, this gap that we see opening up between enterprise on-premise technology spending and enterprise cloud technology spending. How do you see that playing out? Because we heard results from Salesforce, from Workday this week that really caught investors by surprise on the upside. And yet we also heard from you guys and others who deal in on-premise technologies that there's some reluctance to spend in the data center.
Sure. Yeah, no, I think if you look at our most recent results in the second quarter, our cloud results were very strong. Our networking segment overall grew 23% year over year from a year ago. Now that networking segment includes 5G, it includes cloud, and it includes enterprise and on-prem applications. So those all did very well on a year over year basis. I think what you were talking about on the guide for next quarter, we do see our networking business up again sequentially, but that is really driven by the 5G and cloud portion, with the enterprise segment being somewhat mixed. And really, we attribute that to our end customers and ultimately their end customers, which are large companies, being hesitant at this juncture to put investments into on-prem equipment. We view this as a short-term issue, and certainly we like our prospects for the long term in enterprise. But you're absolutely right. The cloud business is doing extremely well, with a little bit of a mixed bag on enterprise next quarter.
Now, Matt, what gives you the confidence that it is a short-term issue? Because I can see a scenario where it is, and then there's some pent-up demand when maybe people get back to work or things become more certain. I can also see a scenario where this is an acceleration of this move to the cloud and away from on-premise that people have been talking about for a while, and maybe some of that just doesn't come back. What gives you the confidence that it will?
Yeah, well, I think if you look at us specifically at Marvell, we clearly believe that the cloud opportunity for us remains very large. It remains as large for us as our 5G opportunity, and we believe we can grow into that. On the enterprise and on-prem, we see a significant opportunity there as well, primarily because I think as you think about the enterprise going forward, we call it the borderless enterprise. And this work from home dynamic has really changed the kinds of applications that need to run in the enterprise. It's changed the kind of semiconductors that are required. And so we actually, in the past quarter, announced a whole suite of new products in our Ethernet portfolio that for the next generation of equipment, which will be available starting now and through next year, there's a significant upgrade cycle that will occur that'll use our technology. So we have some of our own unique Marvell-specific growth drivers that we feel strongly are going to be in our favor. But certainly at a high level, there's no doubt that the move to the cloud is real. And I think it's a challenge for a lot of companies to navigate the enterprise opportunity. In our case, we feel very, very bullish about it.
Hey, Matt, it's Deirdre. To John's point and what you just said, the acceleration to cloud is happening faster than we could have imagined at the beginning of the year. So I wonder, again, why do you think that on-prem is going to stick around? And what kinds of industries or businesses do you see favoring on-premises versus sort of an off-site cloud model going forward?
Sure. I think it's always, it's going to continue to be a mix. I mean, I could look at our own company, where we've had our own cloud transformation at Marvell, moving a number of applications there. But there's also incredibly important and critical data that and applications that we're going to continue to want to run on our own networks and our own data centers. And with those, the challenge that we face and a lot of companies face is this dynamic that's occurred during the pandemic, which is the work from home environment. And, we've got engineers now all around the world designing, some of the most state-of-the-art complex semiconductors from their homes. And we're able to collaborate online, and we're able to be productive. But there's a host of new challenges that come with that, including security. That's certainly going to be critical. And we enable a lot of new features in that in our silicon for the enterprise companies out there. So this isn't something that's going to go away. And in fact, I think what's going to be required in enterprise hardware and equipment is going to change significantly with the changes that are occurring with the work from home, work from anywhere dynamic.
Finally,
so I think it's not necessarily a market that people normally think of as a growth market.
Right.
But just to give you a sense, at Marvell, we've been able to grow that enterprise business since I joined the company in 2016 pretty significantly. And again, some of that is our own product cycles and our own unique opportunity there.
Well, I want to end on 5G, Matt, and I know that you guys got a significant boost from 5G deployments in China in the quarter and some of your technology involved there. Give me a sense of whether anywhere across the globe you think the pandemic has slowed down the 5G rollout. Has there been kind of, as areas like China have recovered, has there been an acceleration in 5G deployments? And what do you see happening in other markets?
Yeah, it's a great question. We've seen very strong growth in our 5G business. Our second quarter, which we just announced, was our fourth consecutive quarter of sequential growth in our wireless infrastructure business, which supports the 5G market. And looking out to our next quarter, we also guided that business to be up very strongly. So if you look at it globally, really in 2019, there was only one major geography that really had a strong implementation of 5G, and that was South Korea. They're continuing to deploy and build out that network. As you noted, and we noted in our call, China has started to deploy as they've come out of the pandemic. And they actually view this as a country as very strategic in terms of job creation and driving economic opportunities. And that's happening now, and we're benefiting from that given our design win position. We see the 5G opportunity, John, really in front of us and in front of a lot of companies, certainly in the United States. And I think you've heard people like Hans Vestberg and others talk about there have been some delays in terms of the deployments because of COVID-19. Certainly, there are some catalysts coming. I think there's this very well-rumored launch of the flagship iPhone in the fall. We believe that those types of devices are going to drive the need for the networks of the world to get built out. You can't just turn these things on overnight. You've got to spend CapEx.
Yeah, so that's a catalyst.
When that happens, that's very good for us at Marvell.
Yeah, it's a catalyst for you too, potentially. So we'll watch that closely, not just for what it does for the consumer. Matt Murphy, CEO of Marvell Technology. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.